Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna do a quick update video, and then I'm gonna walk out to the front pasture, and we'll go through that and what's going on. Saturday morning uh, is well, Saturday. This past Saturday morning was the goat sale at the local stockyard that we go through quite a bit. I pretty much sell any goats that aren't sold off the farm. I'll take there. They have a very strong goat market, we'll just say that. I had 14 younger goats, all ranging between 40 to 60, take that back, probably about 40 to 80 pounds. I had one really small one that just kind of fell behind on us. I had a couple does on this side, and then I had two cull does. What I mean by cull does is basically for those two, they had udder problems, and I didn't see a lot of potential in them to be good mothers. Unfortunately, if they can't do that for me, I can't keep them around. They're costing me money being here, and I know goats are cute and all, and it sounds harsh, but this is a business. These aren't pets here. So if they're not gonna earn their keep, then I can't have them here. So anyways, we cleared out this whole side here. There was 12 or 13 in here. And Sunday afternoon I went through and we scooped it out. Mom came in yesterday morning with the fork, kind of pitched the corners out. And then I scooped it out once more today. I went and bought 2 bags of barn lime. I always throw that on the ground. Try and dry out the wet spots and hopefully kill any bacteria on the floor. We got these 5 goats that are potentially due sometime in October here. 3 of them I'm almost sure are bred. There's 2 I don't know. The 2 I don't know, the younger one had got missed. She was supposed to kid this spring and got missed by the buck. The buck was in there plenty long, so I mean, we'll see what happens if she doesn't kid this time around. Maybe I'll hang on to her till next time, because what I do is I throw the buck in with a group. When the next group comes around, I just throw the new does in and leave the old does there, and that way, if the original does didn't get bred, hopefully that during that next breeding cycle they will get bred. And if they don't after that, usually I might give them one more chance. If they don't take after that, then they are considered a cull doe like those other 2 before. But yeah, we got the lime in here, straw. We moved the five goats, maneuvered some stuff around because my kidding pens are going to be set up in the back. We'll go over that in a future date, maybe once we get closer. So yeah, these goats, they're going to get pushed pretty hard on the grain. They already kind of are, but they'll get put on to twice a day probably, morning and night. So yeah, stay tuned for some baby goats. That's That's always a fun time because they're always fun right away. Um, as long as everything goes okay. But here, this black one here, she's another one that I've been having trouble getting bred. So we'll see what happens if she manages to succeed this time. She might not have to go on the truck, but other than that, got to do what you got to do, I guess. So anyways, I'm gonna walk out to the front pasture and we're gonna look at that and see what our plans are there. And yeah. Alright guys, so we're out here kind of at the front pasture. Um, so my overall plan is to get my cows up here probably sooner than later. Um, what needs to happen before then? There's a pile of manure here that has been started hauling out and never finished, so that needs to get done. There's probably a good load or so. We'll see what. Problem is, it is soft, muddy, wet. We had a bunch of rain today, and they're forecasting a lot of rain tonight. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Hopefully we don't get a lot of rain. But yeah, so first thing we gotta do, get this manure hauled. I got some H block feeders across the road. I want to bring a couple of them in here. We got to put a fence up along the cement there. And basically the cows will go up and then right up into the barn. There'll be a lane in between the steers and the wall there. We gotta kind of mend that back together so they can get up in the barn. The water tank sits in the barn. And then we just like to have a space for them to get out of the elements if they need to. So yeah, fence. We got all this manure, clean up a little bit. I see a lot of the old grass has died and there's new grass starting to grow up, which I'm not crazy about. But anyways, we got this little building out here. And what this is our homemade calf creep feeder. So basically what we got here, there's feeders up in front. We got a bar here that only the calves can slide under. And so I can dump feed in there and the calves can crawl in and eat, but the cows can't. Just got bit by a mosquito. I haven't seen a mosquito in quite a while now. Um, but we built this 2 years ago now, I think. Um, I didn't use it last year how I would have liked, so I'm gonna try and use that a little bit more this year. Um, this needs a little bit of work. I need to close it in a little bit more. Um, so the problem I'm having is every time it rains, the feed gets wet. Well, there's a hole here. Um, I don't know if I'm going to continue to use these red feeders or if I try and figure something else out. I could probably build a little bunk to fit in there. Wouldn't take much. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, I want to kind of close up the outside. Probably just a little ways, couple foot there, just so when the wind blows, it doesn't blow the rain in when it rains, and the feed doesn't get all wet. That's the biggest problem I have with this. But when you look at the commercial creep feeders that they're selling, we saved a lot of money with this. It really didn't take that long. I think a lot of it was stuff we had. Maybe we could have went a little bit smaller, but we wanted something also that if it was nasty weather, that maybe the calves could crawl in as well. Right now I have 3 heifer calves. I'm waiting on be a cow and a heifer to calve yet. Whether they will or not, I don't know. We never pregnancy checked them. Kind of wished we would have, but the bull was in there for about 7 months, so I guess we'll see what happens with them. So yeah, this needs to get done. It shouldn't be too bad. I think we'll probably just have some plywood cut, and we'll just come out here with some tin screws and the screw gun, and we'll just screw it on. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna use those feeders again or not. We'll see. Then right behind me, the corn that is combining corn. We have about 20 acres to chop yet, and then the rest of this behind me will get combined. Once that gets combined off, then I will be out here with my movable fence, and we will be building a temporary pasture for the cows. I graze corn stalks about as long as I can. Once the snow falls, then they're pretty much limited to hay and a little bit of silage. But yeah, corn's got a long ways to go yet to be combined. This will be high moisture corn, so I guess it doesn't really have that long, but so yeah, I guess I'd like to get some cows up here sooner than later. The pasture out there has got nothing to eat, and this one is starting to grow some uglier stuff, weeds and such. So yeah, one other thing. I say too much, but did it again. There is talk currently about purchasing and or trading bull calves, and basically we'd probably be bottle feeding. We sold some cornstalk bales yesterday to a guy and him and Dad must have been talking about steers and whatnot, and he had texted me today and said, "Hey, I got a bunch of bull calves, weaned calves, feeder calves, whatever he's got. He's got too many. I don't know. He must hold so many for himself." And he was wondering if we'd be interested. And we're starting to talk now. The current price for bull calves is not a lot. They're very cheap. I think last week there was a whole bunch went for about $20 to $30. A lot of work goes into them, but they're also really cheap. Could make a little extra money, hopefully. So I don't know. We'll see. It's a very work-intensive job raising calves. Um, Honestly, you got to have antibiotic on hand at all times, and once you notice a little bit of something, you got to give them a shot. And just calves are a whole different animal. They're kind of like goats. Goats are just hard to work with, and calves, once you get them to a certain point, they're okay. But so yeah, I guess uh, stay tuned for that. That might be happening. I got one goat pen in the back shed is empty, and so we might get a dozen or so and put them in there, but we'll see what happens. So yeah. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please like. I greatly appreciate that. It pushes me out farther into the YouTube world. If you have any questions about anything I talked about today or a past video, please throw it in the comments. And also, subscribe.